When people hear Jacksun, they often think of the king of pop, Michael. But behind every global superstar stands someone who helped build that greatness. And in the case of Michael Jackson, it was his older brother, Jermaine Jacksun, who first shared the mic, the spotlight, and the struggle. With a voice as smooth as velvet and a presence as steady as stone, Jermaine was the original lead vocalist of the Jackson 5, paving the way for a cultural revolution. Now aged 70, Jermaine has lived a life that spans the dizzying heights of Motown fame, the heartbreak of family losses, and the quiet satisfaction of fatherhood and personal reinvention. While his net worth is estimated at $1.5 million in 2025, his true value lies in the legacy he helped launch, the records he made soar, and the family name he protected through scandal, scrutiny, and stardom. Early life. Jermaine LaJuane Jacksun was born on December 11, 1954, in Gary, Indiana, to Joseph Joe Jackson, a stern steel mill worker with dreams of musical glory, and Catherine Jacksun, a warm and religious woman who played piano and raised her children in the faith of Jehovah's Witnesses. The Jacksun household, although modest, was full of rhythm, discipline, and aspiration. Jermaine was the fourth of 10 children. His siblings, Rebby, Jackie, Tito, LaToya, Marlon, Michael, Randy, and Janet, would all find their own paths in entertainment, but it was Jermaine who first took the lead mic when the Jackson children began performing together. In the early 1960s, he co-founded the Jackson Brothers, which later evolved into Jackson 5, with young Michael eventually taking over lead vocals. Though Jermaine's early life revolved around rehearsals and stage performances, he did attend Birmingham High School in Los Angeles, graduating in 1973. He never pursued college, as his career was already taking off by his late teens. Personal life. Jermaine's personal life has been as complex as a Motown melody, filled with passion, betrayal, and redemption. Hazel Gordy, 1973 to 1988, the daughter of Motown founder Berry Gordy. Hazel was Jermaine's first wife. Together, they had 3 children, Jermaine Jr., Autumn, and Jamie. Their marriage ended due to infidelity on Jermaine's part. Margaret Maldonado, late 1980s. 1990s, Jermaine had 2 sons, Jeremy and Jordan, with Margaret while still married to Hazel, sparking controversy within the Jackson family. Alejandra Oaziza, 1995 to 2008, in a story that shocked tabloids, Jermaine married Alejandra, the ex-girlfriend of his younger brother Randy Jacksun. They had 2 sons, Jaffer and Jermajesti. Halima Rashid, 2004 to 2016, Jermaine married Halima, a woman of Afghan descent, in a private Muslim ceremony. The marriage lasted over a decade before ending in divorce. Jermaine is the proud father of 7 children. Some have ventured into entertainment, most notably Jaffer Jacksun, who has made headlines in 2025 as the lead in the highly anticipated Michael Jackson biopic, embodying his legendary uncle with uncanny resemblance and charisma. Jermaine was raised a Jehovah's Witness, but in 1989, he converted to Islam after a trip to Bahrain. His spiritual path has since influenced much of his worldview, especially his later public appearances and international work. Jermaine authored the heartfelt memoir You Are Not Alone, Michael, Through a Brother's Eyes in 2011, a personal and emotional look at his brother's life beyond the tabloids. He's also appeared on reality shows, including Celebrity Big Brother UK, Gone Country, and Celebrity Wife Swap, often showing a softer, more thoughtful side that his tabloid reputation suggests. Professional career. The quiet star in a loud family. The Jackson 5, creating pop history. Jermaine was one of the founding members of the Jackson 5 and served as co-lead vocalist alongside Michael. With their signing to Motown Records in 1969, the group became a cultural phenomenon. Their first 4 singles, I Want You Back, ABC, The Love You Save, and I'll Be There, all went to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Jermaine's charisma and deep vocals were integral to the group's identity, especially on early ballads and harmonies. While Michael drew headlines, Jermaine anchored the sound. Solo career at Motown. In 1975, when his brothers left Motown for CBS Records, Jermaine made the controversial decision to stay with Motown, partly because of his marriage to Hazel Gordy. His solo career took off with Daddy's Home, 1972, platinum hit. Let's Get Serious, 1980. Produced by Stevie Wonder, this album was a commercial and critical triumph, earning Jermaine a Grammy nomination. Arista era and 80s resurgence. Jermaine left Motown in the early 1980s and signed with Arista Records. He scored hits with Dynamite, 1984, Do What You Do, duets with Whitney Houston and Pia Zadora. In 1989, the title track of his album, Don't Take It Personal, hit #1 on the R&B charts, reaffirming his solo star power. Later career and reunions. In 1984, Jermaine rejoined his brothers for the Victory Tour, which became one of the most lucrative tours of the decade. He continued to perform with the Jacksons sporadically, including a 2012 to 2013 Unity tour, which honored Michael's memory. While his last solo album was in the early 90s, Jermaine has remained active in tribute shows, international concerts, and Jackson family reunions. House tour and car collection. Jermaine has lived in several upscale properties over the years, particularly in Los Angeles and the Middle East. His most talked about residence was a lavish Calabasas mansion, now sold, which featured 7 bedrooms, a private recording studio, marble floors and chandeliers, and a sprawling backyard with a pool and basketball court. While details about his current residence in 2025 are limited, it's believed he resides in the San Fernando Valley, living a quieter, more private life. As for cars, Jermaine has long favored classic Mercedes-Benz models, including an S-Class from the 1990s and a custom Rolls-Royce gifted during his Motown years. He's been seen driving luxury sedans, but he has not flaunted an exotic car collection like some of his peers. Jermaine Jacksun did not attend college. Like many young stars of his generation, his education was overtaken by the demands of global fame. From local talent shows in Indiana to Motown studios in Detroit by the age of 14, Jermaine's career was built not in lecture halls, but on the stage. As of today, Jermaine Jacksun is alive and well. At age 70, he continues to make rare public appearances, particularly in support of his son Jaffer and his upcoming film role. Though no longer an active performer, Jermaine remains a living link to one of music's most transformative eras. Jermaine Jacksun is often seen as the shadow behind the spotlight, but to fans of soul, R&B, and family loyalty, he is so much more. He wasn't just Michael's brother. He was his first bandmate, his fiercest defender, and a musician of remarkable talent in his own right. He lived through the best and worst of fame. Chart-topping records, failed marriages,